Hello grapplers and welcome to a new video. This guy right here, Mena, won using Zangief. There's a lot to unpack here. Before we head into one of the replays, which is gonna be the last round, just to showcase the things Mena did. Why is Mena using Zangief? He mentioned he wanted to use him. I'm not gonna gatekeep anyone. If you want to play Zangief, please go ahead. Capcom does not pay me for Zangief, so anyone can play him. Should Mena come here and play Zangief? That's cool. That's no problem. The reason that is more interesting for me is why he decided to play Zangief in this tournament. If you take a look at the bracket, you'll see that more or less there wasn't that many international players. Staigo, of course, and Ending Walker, but overall, I'd say it was a pretty US-centered tournament. Mena, in a way, knew the players who were going, so he decided that this was the best tournament to do and play Zangief. Because if you're gonna showcase a different character to your usual, in the case of Mena, Blanca or Luke, a tournament that is smaller in scope and also has people, mostly the top 8 is gonna be compromised of people you know, then it's not a bad idea to play the character. I've seen a lot of people comparing this to Gobayan winning Topanga or Ita-san going to EWC, so I don't think this win can be compared to any other Zangief win in terms of the level. It's very difficult to, especially in a game that is as volatile as this one, is very difficult to compare winnings. However, that being said, Mena won. This was part of the CPT, and if you really are a person who is looking for points and actually looking at wins and the character, this is probably the best Zangief has ever been positioned in a top 8 since the start of the year, inside the CPT of course. Objectively, you can say Mena is the best Zangief player at the moment. Also, something to consider, he didn't have to play the really annoying matches. I don't think he had to play against one Lily, and I think he used Blanca. There were almost no JPs. He didn't have to fight Ed, no Dalsims, as far as I can tell, at least in top 24. All of those annoying matches, or Akumas, or Ken players, all of those guys were significantly absent from his path towards top 8 and actually winning the tournament. How does he actually play with Zangief? This is also something very complicated. If you take a look at how MenaRD plays, you realize he's as basic can be. Is that a bad thing? No, because he actually took the tournament playing like that. And his opponents were not that keen on backdashing and jumping, so he went for a lot of SPDs, a lot of DRC SPDs, a lot of just drive rush super level 3s, all of those things that are basically grabs, obviously. People were not jumping or trying to escape them. They were eating almost every single SPD, which is surprising. Also, you'll see that he didn't use some buttons that are very common with Zangief, or grabs. I think he didn't use, for example, Russian Suplex, Siberian Express, or Spinebuster, just to name a few. Almost no Bosch Dynamites. Not necessarily that many anti-airs because people weren't jumping at him. But there's a lot of smaller things that are really difficult to compare again to another situations where Zangief is in. He played great. He knew what he had to do against the players he had to fight.
But right now, it's his time to shine. MenaRD.
Standing light kick and sweep were both very important for Mena.
It's the sweep, the whip punish. He's acclimated to that button. That heavy kick is too often, too long.
This is something that he did a lot. Instead of going for the actual Oki and abuse the plus frames immediately, he walked back. And then he decided to go for maybe another headbutt or a standing medium punch.
Oh, there is recovery. He's ready for it.
Oh no, misses the grab there. Oh, with that target combo, nice. Hits him as he's charging up the fireball.
That is the Mena special, or it was the Mena special during the entirety of the tournament. I'm gonna tell you right away, standing light kick is not necessarily the best poke. If you want to poke, you should poke with standing medium punch because of the range and also the minus frames. This is -4 and it recovers extremely slow. So if you happen to whiff a standing light kick, a very keen player will basically whiff punish you very easily. And also DRC from a standing light kick is very limited. You do have to use it sometimes. It gives you a counter hit, some frame traps, but you do have to be careful with your use of standing light kick.
Confidently walking him down. Stand light kick. The driver's right after the plus. Confidently walking him down. Light kick.
That is technically the Kobanyan reset. I say technically because he uses crouching light kick and then standing crouching light punch instead of just going for crouching light punch and B+10.
That hell stab, not going to cancel anything. Obviously loses his turn after that, but he's almost there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kevin's trying to block all these hits to get level 2 super, but Mena is trying his best.
He also jumped forwards with body splash a lot. And I have to say he connected most of them.
Let's not get him to do that. we're not going to see a level 2 super, but we're going to see a walk-up grab from that parry. No super just yet. He wants to keep it clean.
Brave Tech would have died.
Of all the replays I saw, he only used super level 2 once. He was mostly going for super level 3. Absolutely zero super level 1s.
Level 3 starting to build here for MenaRD. Whip punish.
Nice with punish.
Too far from that stand fierce to hit anything at all.
Yeah, again, just going in for the footsies and just trying to stop Dual Kevin in his tracks before he gets the lead here. Mena, yep, going in for that big sweep. And that headbutt, we are not going to deal with that. We do not want to guess. Let's give you a tornado for that level 2 super.
Right wing position. And jump off the throw. Punish counter. Tornado still there. He's blocking it out.
Nice onto the other side. That's going to be some good amount of damage, especially with this corner situation. Mena going in for the SPD. Any hit can do it. Oh no, misses it.
He does MenaRD!
And he took the tournament. That entire set showcases how he played during the entirety of the tournament. I do have to say his opponents were surprisingly nephew of all the players. I think he's the one with the most Zangief experience. All of them played very weird against Zangief. Probably the name Mena, really produced some fear in them, which is cool. I mean, he deserves to take the win. The W. He played with Zangief most of the tournament. Only a few times he went for, even in the top, the finals, he went once for Blanca. Otherwise, it was just Zangief all the time. And he beat all the players. They didn't know what to do. What's the takeaway here? What should we, as Zangief mains, take from his game plan? You don't have to go for the complex stuff. You can win if you play really significant and very consistent footsies. Super level 1 sucks. If you have super level 1 and you never use it, it's because the super just doesn't work that well. Super level 2 was mostly absent from his game plan. That also makes sense. Super level 2 is way too slow and you only use it for combos, and objectively, if you want to go for the higher damaging combo, you will use super level 3, so he never went for super level 2. Although we have to consider he didn't play that many fireball characters, so that's another thing. And parries. This is something that was not shown here, but he went for a lot of parries. Standing heavy punches -3. He went for a lot of standing heavy punches, not charge, just the regular standing heavy punch, -3 parry. Also during strings. Parry. He parried very well. Perfect parry. A lot of the things you need to do with Zangief. Almost all of the time he went for SPD. As I said before, no regular grabs. I think he went for one back throw and that was it. He was mostly around SPDs. That being said, I don't think this game plan is applicable to people who know the matchup, know how to jump, and know how to backdash. Take the smaller important things to apply to your game plan. Like for example, perfect parrying, or using sweep instead of going for another button. Going for the Oki, but then instead of immediately committing to the Oki, walk back to see what they do. That is also very significant and something we can apply. People were not jumping at him, at least not that often, so he didn't have to rely on Zangief more or less inconsistent lariat. Thus, this was the perfect setting for showcasing Zangief. He did what he had to do very well. He played fantastic, and objectively, we have to say it, objectively, he's the best Zangief. And this opens the gates for a lot of questions I know some of you guys are gonna start asking, like, what is happening with the rest of the Zangief players? Why are they not winning like Mena or reaching top 3? And that's a very difficult question. As I said before, wins are not really comparable. It's very difficult to compare one tournament to another. However, there were a lot of Zangief players absent from this tournament. Ramsey, I think, was there. Simple Tricks, BP, Amoko were the ones I recognized. Right now, Mena is the best one objectively for CPT. He qualified using Zangief. And to be honest, I would love to see him play more Zangief, especially in the bad matchups. He's a very, very fast player at downloading people. That's a W for Zangief. That's all I have for today, guys. If you really like this video, please subscribe. Go to the Siberian Lab on Twitch. We have more information over there about Zangief and other things. Remember to keep playing grapplers, hydrate, eat well, sleep well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.